bro, Joe, you knew what Trump ran on. This is exactly what the fuck he ran on. You might say that he thought he was going to do felons first or whatever. He never really specified that. So to say that that's what you assumed is, I don't know, naive or a cop out. I don't know. I just think that's fucking dumb.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
And first of all, it's the way, let's just talk about the immigration thing. The way it looks is horrific. When you're just arresting people in front of their kids and just normal, regular people that have been here for 20 years, that everybody who has a heart can't get along with that.
No.
Everybody who has a heart sees that and goes, that can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be the only way to do this.
Right.
I'm gonna let him continue, but I don't understand what you're talking about. It's not the nice thing to do, but it's the fair thing to do. It's the right thing to do. It's the legal thing to do. I don't understand. Like, it's a terrible situation anytime someone gets locked up or the law comes for them or they get deported. It's a terrible thing regardless. But it's necessary. It's how you have law and order. Order. I mean, I know our government's fucking terrible with, being fair with the judicial system. But if we're actually trying to fix the judicial system, this is what we got to do. We can't just let people slip on through.
Because you have to think, look, yeah, we have to have a border. Yes, it should have been secure. Yes, they should make sure you know who everybody is before they get in.
Yeah.
But when people have been here for 20 years, like, come on, man. That's crazy. Like, let's find a way. If they've been productive members of society for 20 years, no criminal record, they worked the entire time, they paid taxes, find them a pathway to citizenship. Find a way where you can do this thing that you want to do, which is keep terrorists and cartel members from getting across the border with drugs that kill 100,000 people a year. Okay, but also have a fucking heart. Because if you don't, you're not going to get anybody on your side. If you're doing this stuff publicly, throwing women to the ground, handcuffing people, just for existing on the wrong side of the dirt.
Yeah.
Not a criminal. Not the only crime they ever committed was coming over here as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. There are less severe instances, and I do think that we should focus on the more severe instances. And I'm not against like someone that's been here for 20 years finding a way to get him to get their papers. I think just like how there is with crime, there's a statute of limitations. I can see a fighting argument that way. But there isn't any laws for that right now. So to be fair, everybody that came here illegally needs to go. If you came over as a child and your parents put you in that situation, I don't know. It's like you're sending them back with fucking nothing. So I guess I'd have to think about that more. But for people that came here as grown-ups, who have been living here illegally as grown-ups for however long, 10, 15 years, I guess, not however long, 10, 15 years, you need to go back, in my opinion. That's what I think. Like I said, maybe there could be a statute of limitations on it, but at the same time, that is that's like giving a loophole for people to exploit. I think it would probably do more harm than good in the long run.
We didn't even know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
A lot of kids got snuck across when they were already born in Mexico. And they've grown up their entire life in America. They can't even speak Spanish. Yeah. And they could get sent back.
Dude, I mean, that's it. You're describing exactly the reality, and there just isn't...
No one gets on board with that, man. No one with a heart.
Well, no. I mean, the only way you can get on board with it is you have to essentially go like pure Machiavellian. Here's the argument, and the way I just gave an argument for Marxism, which I am not a Marxist. I heard a great interview with the guy running ICE on NPR, which I thought was wild. NPR had him on, and they gave him a fair interview. I figured they would be all up his ass. So his defense of the Machiavellian tactics that are being employed right now is that he apparently has worked as some kind of border agent for 20 years. He says, you could hear it in his voice, man, it fucked him up. He's like, I've seen the back of trucks filled with dead bodies You know what I mean? With children there who died, no oxygen. I've seen these horrors that have come from the open border, and how awful it is. If we give any semblance of compassion or mercy for the people who've been here for 20 years, for the people with kids, the kids who get any loophole that we convey is going to produce more people trying to come over the border.
Yeah, oh God.
And many of those people are going to get killed. They're going to, they're drowned. There will be many deaths because of this. Not to mention the drug smuggling and all that stuff. And so every time the NPR reporter would push back with the human rights compassion angle, his take is, yeah, but which do we pick? Which do we choose? Creating some way for people to stay in the United States who came here as kids and do the nuanced, compassionate thing, but it gives the impression to the rest of the world that we're doing that,
right?
And that gets X amount of people killed. That many people die. That was his take.
And that's the worst case scenario. Like, there's a lot of other situations where the cartel traffics them to the border, robs them of all their possessions, all their money, kidnaps their kids, and then sends their kids off, grapes the woman. There's a whole bunch of situations. Murder is just the worst. A lot of people do die, or just drowning from crossing in bad places, or just not knowing how to swim. A lot of people die crossing the border.
Which is why they're doing
They're
this.
still going to have human trafficking, and if you've got a very closed border and you give amnesty, they're going to figure out a way to get people in.
That was his
people are going to die
argument.
doing it.
That's his argument. And when he was talking about like all the awful shit he's seen, and you hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, maybe I don't completely agree with your point of view, but I can understand where you're coming from there. And yet, when you see this in practice, when it's not an NPR interview and you see the videos you've been seeing and everyone else has been seeing, then you realize like sure, but there must be a way to do this that doesn't involve ripping parents out of their communities, away from their children, that doesn't involve like actually removing people who've been contributing to society, to American society, from American society, sending people to other countries when they can't even speak the language.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. It's other countries when you can't speak the other language, that's fair. But everything else, like, bro, I don't really care for most part. I do not care, because you came here illegally. You made your bed, you lie in it. Like, I do not care about any of that fucking guilt trip, just because I've had to deal with the law. I know a lot of people that have had to deal with the law. There is no sympathy for us, and there shouldn't be no sympathy for any of it, because we broke the fucking law. They broke the fucking law. Like, yeah, we need to probably like put our tax dollars to, I don't know, making the process quicker to where people can get it accepted or denied or what the fuck ever. But just letting people break in and then letting them stay because we feel bad for them is doing nothing but setting a bad example for everybody else across the world that is going to be taken advantage of just to cross into our country. And it's just there's no win at all for really anybody. I mean, I guess for the people crossing the border a little bit, but not whenever you come over here, devote all your money and time here, and then get kicked the fuck out, which is very likely because you came here illegally. So it's like it's high risk, high reward. If you want to roll them dice, you can, but if you fucking crap out, that's your own fault. And it's also annoying me because, like, bro, Joe, you knew what Trump ran on. This is exactly what the fuck he ran on. You might say that he thought he was going to do felons first or whatever. He never really specified that. So to say that that's what you assumed is, I don't know, naive or a cop out. I don't know. I just think that's fucking dumb. I saw Theo Von get mad at what was it? It was the fucking ICE page on Twitter or something. They made a clip of him and then they made a meme out of it, and Theo Von got mad. And I kind of get that because it's like you are using his likeness to promote propaganda, which is in itself kind of bad, but it's extremely bad whenever Charlie Kirk just got murdered. And Theo Vaughn's a public figure who's out all the fucking time in front of people without security. So it's like it puts a big target on its head.
I did not ever anticipate seeing that on TV on a regular basis.
Me either, man. Me either. It's shocking.
I really thought they were just going to go after the criminals. I really thought there was enough gang members and enough people, MS-13 members and whatever they were looking for.
They're all criminals. It's fucking... that's the thing that irritates me the most, when people try to pretend like they're not criminal. They are, by definition, criminals.
That they're wanted. They would go after those guys.
Dude,
That's what I thought, right? But how many gang members have they actually arrested?
No idea. No idea.
Wasn't Trump like offering money, or the government offering money for people that went back by themselves, by their own choice? I think that would be the best outcome. You don't want to send someone back to a country where they don't have anything. That's fair. Well, it's not really our problem, but okay, let's just give them that. Because with all the money we're spending on taxes to have all these officers running through streets, causing all this shit, is way more expensive than I bet way more expensive than just giving each person $2,000, $3,000, or maybe even $5,000 to go back to where the fuck they came from, or buy them a ticket and get them like $5,000 is fucking plenty, and I bet you they are burning through bread right now with how many officers they got, the cars, the fuel, the buildings, the technology, like all the shit has to accumulate to probably around that each person that they actually get. And I bet you it would be more effective if they gave people money to go the fuck back.
But you see how, and I hate using this word because the word is getting thrown around so much, and it's a stupid. Well, you didn't say that word. I'll say authoritarianism.
Yeah.
You see how authoritarianism, when it begins to emerge, it's not like it's like non-consensual. You see how it slowly creeps in, and how there's a great many people directly impacted by people who have crossed the border without using the right protocol, and in a horrific way. And there are gangs that have been in apartment complexes. There's people who've seen those videos too.
Right.
And they're like, fuck yeah. Yeah, and also a lot of people who got citizenship the regular way and went through fucking hell to get citizenship here, they're also like, fuck them. They're cutting in line, these motherfuckers. Right. They're gumming up the system. They're making it so that we who are following the rules, not only it's taking us longer, but also now we have to deal with ICE too. So those people are pissed. So there is a contingent of people who maybe feel the same thing all of us are feeling, but also are like, but, what's worse?
Literally, I think that's how, like, I have empathy for these people that I see getting, stripped away from their families, bombarded by agents. Like, I feel empathy for them, but I think with my head, I'm sorry, like, just logically, it's not a good move at all. It hurts everybody. It puts everybody in danger, and only a few actually benefit exponentially from it. Some people might get by in it, but it's like, was it really worth everything? I don't think that's the case in most instances, especially whenever you're over here and every single thing you got to do is illegal. Every single thing you got to do is illegal because you don't have any ID. You don't have any fucking verification of citizenship. How are you going to get a job doing all, like, if you can't get a job with your fucking papers, you're going and getting a job under the table, which is illegal. Like, unless it's just fucking side jobs here and there. But if you're working for someone specifically, like, and they're paying you under the table, you're not supposed to do that. I'm pretty sure that's tax evasion. I'll look it up. But yeah.
This is how I think the only way to do it would be where you could get everyone on your side. Borders are closed, and we're going to find out who's committed felonies. Who out of the people that are illegal that have committed felonies. And if you've committed X amount of felonies, you have to leave the country.
Yeah.
One.
Right?
Yeah.
If you've
It should be misdemeanors, if anything. Like, bro, a traffic ticket. If you're going that approach, traffic ticket, yeah, that'd be the most fair. Misdemeanor, there's a lot of pretty fucking heinous misdemeanors theft, assault, domestic. There's some pretty big fucking misdemeanors that aren't felonies that I don't want in the fucking country if they came here illegally. Like if that's what you're fighting for is, well, at least let the people that have broken no law and are paying taxes and are contributing to society. That'd be the only way you can get me on board. But talking about felonies, like you got to get a felony to go back. No, that's fucking crazy as hell.
Robbing people for the last 10 years and you're an illegal, you have to leave the country, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you've been here for 25 years, you have a family, your kids go to school here, you speak the language, you're just illegal. But you're a contributing member to the community that up until now has been protected. This is crazy to ask lower income and middle income people who are, kind of getting by. And then all of a sudden you're about to ship them to a country where they've never been. They haven't been since they were 4.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pull up their family and and they've been in the community like that.
That's different though. Like that's like the gray area, but the black and white issue is so much easier to deal with. Like that's what, like little clauses in the laws are for. But if you're here as a kid, I think if you're here as a kid, you don't even speak the fucking language and you haven't had any type of like documentation or jobs or anything over where they're trying to send you back. I think that's not only just fair, but it's not fair, but it's more like, oh well, because what else are you really gonna do? That's kind of like us as America having to deal with our own actions. It's like us just having to deal with our consequences, which we shouldn't really have to do as Americans because it wasn't our fault. But I don't think there is another solution or alternative, and other than like I said, you give them $5,000. I'm sure they can figure it the fuck out, unless they don't speak the language. And that's what I'm saying. There could be fucking exemptions in the law. But yeah, I pressed play. There ain't nothing else in the video, so I'm gonna just end that video here. I hope y'all liked the video. If you did, please give me a like. If you guys got anything to say about the video, let me know down below. I'll read every single comment. And if you fuck with your boy, would you please give me a subscription? With that said, deuces.
I've been out of my mind lately. I don't need nobody. I've been on my grind, baby, trying to stay